Hey troops, it's Roy from Geeks Adventures. Woohoo! Broadcasting from the Green Couch in the Clintonville section of Columbus, Ohio. So, it's been an interesting week for geeks. you know, some of it, kind of melancholy, but warm and fuzzy, like the final episode of Big Bang Theory. I'm gonna miss you guys. Penny, Penny, Penny. Bye, guys. I'm gonna miss you guys, really. Some of it kind of, not just the Game of Thrones petition. I suffered through the Super Bowl this past February, so I want a do-over too, dang it. I mean, seriously. Wow. Or there's also Chris Rock working on a Saw reboot. Yeah, that Chris Rock. Yeah, that Saw. And yes, I know right now you've got visions of, wow, Adam Sandler, David Spade, both locked in a room, handcuffed to a body that turns out to be Chevy Chase. Maybe I shouldn't have said that too loud because there's some fool in marketing that's going to think that's a good idea. And of course, the big one. Now, to clarify things, it sounds like this is still being negotiated. That Variety, I think it was Variety who first broke the story. And I think right now, the reporter who's being questioned by his editor, who's your source? Some guy who knows some secondary, who knows some agent, who knows somebody? Yeah, and because apparently it's not a done deal because who else is in a position? This guy, Nicholas Hoult. Yeah, the one who played Beast in the X-Men reboot. So on one corner, we have sparkly Batman. On the other side, we have Blue Beast Batman. And of course, in light of the petition for Game of Thrones Season 8 being trashed and HBO actually being convinced by a bunch of geeks to, hey, let's trash the millions of dollars we spend and do this all over again. Petitions are flying everywhere about Pattinson. Or may not be Pattinson. We don't know for sure. One of the ironic things is because of all this backlash, there is a backlash to the backlash. Of folks going, time out. One, not even signed. Number two, look. We laughed at Heath Ledger. We laughed at Ben Affleck. The biggest thing people laughed at about Batman v Superman and Justice League was Ben Affleck as Batman, and it turned out that was one of the few things people could agree that kind of worked. Cool. So, personally, my thing has been the initial what? For those of you who are wondering, if you've been kind of paying way too much attention to this, like geeks like me, this actually started months ago. And honestly, my reaction is still. However, like a lot of folks who are reacting to this, I'm also of the opinion. Time out. I'm out. Okay. I'm not familiar with his full body of work beyond you know who. But I have had lots of friends of mine who have watched a lot of his other films. Go to Wiki. Who said that? No, he's got good chops. And let's be frank here. He played a moody, sullen, grumpy vampire through those Twilight movies. That's Bruce Wayne, man. Let's be frank. That's Bruce Wayne. The bad news, of course, is, you've got the initial outrageous backlashes of, what are you thinking, blah, 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 blah. And, of course, the other backlash is the comedians like me who are like, wow, does that mean that that Jacob's going to be Robin? Um, Already right now there are assorted things flying around. Hey, is Kristen Stewart gonna play a Catwoman and blah 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 blah. And actually, the other response that's come up that kind of cool. I think Robert Pattinson is a little too old, unfortunately, but I like the idea. And actually, this started as soon as Warner Brothers decided to decide to pull the pin on creating a shared universe and going, screw it, we're just going to make movies and make them good. Duh. Talk of Michael Keaton reprising his role as an older, burned out Bruce Wayne into a Batman Beyond movie. Now, considering the fact that there is no movie universe that we know of, whether marketing has changed its mind or not, who knows? Yeah, I'm a cynical little smart aleck. What did you expect? You know, the idea. I love it's a great idea. But I think Pattinson in that role is a little too old. Doing a younger Bruce Wayne, I think it could work. Like I said, hey, he played Edward. I mean, come on, that's Batman in a lot of ways, minus the sparkles. The thing that worries me, there is the really cynical part of me that wonders after everything hit the fan with the announcement of Ben Affleck as being Batman and the yeah, backlash. No, there's an understatement. If there isn't some suit in Warner Brothers who said, "Hey, let's let it leak and see what happens." The sad thing is, in many ways, that wouldn't be surprising. Now this is going to be the umpteenth comparison with the MCU, but then again, when you're talking about this, you can't help it. It's going to happen no matter what. So suck it up, Warner Brothers. You decided to jump into the deep end of the pool with a 3-pound concrete block attached to each of your limbs and your head. So, oh well. It feels like the kind of thing that unfortunately the mechanical marketing driven version of Warner Brothers would do. I mean, not that Feige, Disney, Iger, all of it, they're in it for, I mean, let's be frank, it's all about cha-ching. But nonetheless, so there is also this sense of, look, we got respect for the character, if for no other, because dang, geeks, man, they get, dang. Yes, we do. Yeah. So there is a sense of, okay, we've got an idea where we're going, yada yada yada. Even now, with the pretty decent, good buzz Joker, is it Joker or the Joker? I can never remember. Is generating from its first teaser. The immense amounts of goodwill that Wonder Woman and Aquaman generated because, hey, they worked out. There's still a general feeling of what you're going to do next. And unfortunately, for me, that feel of, is this really a casting decision? Or is this, like I said, someone in marketing going, hey, let's see how this plays out in all those demographics, and let's put it on a giant pie chart and compare it to blah, blah, blah. It's like, really? The one thing, besides the fact that I think Pattinson could do a good job, the other thing that kind of keeps me going is the fact that Matt Reeves, the director, he's good. The last two Planet of the Apes movies, he's the one that did that. Created a wonderful, epic story for Caesar. I mean, who'd have thought you're rooting for the apes? I mean, traditionally it's always the human, the one you're going, yeah, and this time, and you created this wonderful story arc about this guy who, kind of, he's got that William Wallace kind of feel, or, Katniss Everdeen of, look, I just want my people to be okay. That's all I want. And of course, assorted people screw it up. So, you do what you gotta for your peeps, right? So we'll see what happens. Um, you know the the umpteenth sad thing about this is the jokes kind of write themselves at this point. I mean, I have visions of Nicholas Holt going, "Hey, sparkly Batman. Hey, you got stuck in that Twilight thing that you haven't been in a really, really big, relevant series, in about a decade. Nah. Well, at least my version of the character didn't get turned into a pile of ashes in the Snapchat. Nah. And of course, the entire comic world going, burn. Dang. See what I mean? It keeps feeding itself. Um, so what? I mean, my honest take on this whole thing, I the potential is there. The potential for something decent is there. It's just that, like I've often said, in the middle of all my snarky, smart alecky, incredibly drowning in cynicism commentary, you never know. That's the really sad thing is that you're kind of sitting here going, and I've joked about this with countless people that Kevin Feige could announce that Steven Spielberg is going to direct a version of Howard the Duck, and the thing is, it would come out well, and it would make a crap ton of money, and we would all be going, brilliant, 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 brilliant. I mean, so we shall see. Anyway, hey, y'all have a good weekend. May the odds be in your favor. I hope y'all enjoying watching John Wick or watching Endgame for the 18th time. Y'all take care, and as always, be good to each other, okay, peeps? Bye.